All right, we all learn lower block like that, right? So hand is just on the outside and there's a rotation. Most martial arts, most karate guys lower block by going like this and trying to pivot and throw their elbow in a swing like this. Completely inefficient and has very little power on it. The reason they do this is because they don't know how to rotate the body properly. If you went to try this against someone sparring and you picked up, by the time you either went to block their kick or their low, or if they were using knife work, whatever they're doing, there's no way you can get from here to there in that amount of time. These big motions are more for grappling. So if you pulled someone's arm in and you were trying to come down on them, or you were doing this, or if you were trying to clear someone's wrist off you, if you were trying to get them off, that's where those come in. I want you to envision your forearm is like this. You never want to circle to a technique, it takes too long. You always want to go from point A to point B, like that. So if I take this and I go from point A to point B, that's what it is, just quick. But what I want is this part goes from point A to point B. This point and this point need to rotate. So one goes like this, and one goes like this. You get this like wave on it, which helps it come through. So if I do this, that's how you get that crack out of it. That does not need this to do that because you have rotation through your hips, your shoulders, and your elbows, and you have complete rotation of the body, and they can be very short. So if I go like this and I'm here and I need to do this short, I can do that very short, pop. And because you have that dig and that rotation into it, it hurts a lot. There's a crack on that thing. It's not pleasant. Now, when you're throwing it, there's a couple things you need to pay attention to. Number one, like I said, you want to learn how to rotate and relax. This is not a tense technique. This is a wave. It's a whip. It comes from the body, arms, just snap like that, right? But you have to pay attention to where your hips go too. That's very important. So if I go like this and I wave it, do you see how I end up square again? So a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll go like this. So they go like this. And that's perfectly fine. But you'll find a lot of times with kicks when you need to drive them, or like someone's coming at you on an angle with a knife, that you need to drive into it a little bit. And then your hips will square back up. So watch the belt. Here, my hips are here. Well, now my next technique is terrible because I'm already loaded that way. So this is where you need to loosen up in the hips. Watch. If I bounce, what I have to do is I have to bounce my hip back real quick. After the snap, I bounce the hip back. Bounce, bounce, and not come like this. Bounce, bounce, relax, back. So there's like you've hit, and then this just relaxes a little bit so I can come this way. It's not a lot. It's not like here, here, here. It's just small. Now, you could do it the other way. You could catch it this way, but even then you want to do it small. So let's say I open my hips when I did this. I went like this, like that. So you see the open, and then there's like a little relaxation, like a wave. You see this circle on it? It's not like that. Just, and you can see it. You can see the crack, right? It's not. There should be like a crack on it when you do it. The one exception to this is if you do it right, you can actually throw both at the same time. So if my hip is going this way, say I'm closing, if I get my hand out, I can close together. So 1, 2, see it? Now here's the problem with this. What most people do is they throw the hip, and they leave the hand, and then they throw the hand, and then they're behind. If you're gonna throw blocks and strikes together, it's critically important that this hand gets out early so that when they hit, they kind of hit at the same time when the hips drive through. Otherwise, you're going to go hit, hip, hit. You're going to be late and you're going to get jammed. Go home. Try this at home. Just feel how, like, take these and just bounce them a little bit. Feel like everything just kind of relaxes, right? It's like that wave to it. And feel how it shortens up in the body. Feel how it rolls in the body. Like, it has to come from your legs. It's not enough just to come from the shoulders and the arms. So relax, play with it, try and make them shorter. If you make them shorter, you'll actually be able to use them.